Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Fantasy versus Jaedong, the epic matchup of the century. Even though it's not the finals, it's the finals before the finals.
Yay!
And this is the Bacchus OSL, of course. We're now in the third set. Jaedong losing a game early like he usually does, one game down, but he comes back and he wins another one. So right back in it again. Gonna be a crazy heads-up battle. We've had so far 2 games over 20 minutes. Some really epic matchups, and this time it's going to be on Holyworld, so we've gone to the third map now. I gotta say, I feel that this map is pretty balanced. I don't know, what do you think about it?
Well, we've seen some games leading up to this, particularly with Zero taking advantage. There was Zero versus Lita, and I don't know why, but I've seen a lot of Terrans having trouble like getting out on this map. I think just because it's a 4-player map, but it's easier to, I feel, contain if you do want to contain. So what we'll see is Terran getting contained by like lurkers or something from the Zerg, or we'll see the Zerg throwing up a bunch of sunken colonies in front of their base to try to ward off, a Terran attack or something that's coming up here. Of course, yes, we've also seen infested Terrans, blah blah blah. There's the CC in the middle that you can take over. One thing about Jaedong, and I do love Jaedong, I feel like he is a very good reactive player, extremely good at that kind of game. He's not known for his creative play, so like I wouldn't expect to see him go for, like, he got a queen in, what game was it? Was it in the I can't remember if it was in a previous OSL.
Snared.
Yeah, like he used a queen. I'm like, oh my gosh, Jaedong used a queen. Like, even though we've seen that from a lot of new Zerg players, kind of the newer gen coming down, we don't see that a lot from Jaedong.
Well, we're gonna see something a little bit off color today, ladies and gentlemen, because just as you're saying, he doesn't play. Well, I don't know if I call this creative, but
4-pool.
We're seeing a 4-pool from Jaedong on a 4-player map, nonetheless.
So the key of this is Jaedong scouting in the right direction, and he is not scouting in the right direction. So Jaedong will either win because of this, or he will lose. I mean, it's one of those things. Now, I don't blame him. They're tied, so if he loses this, he could still come back and get another one. We could see this go to Game 5. But the thing is he is going to have to run his lings in one direction. I don't know if he's going to run them in the direction. Well, he might even be able to scout at that point. But the natural thing, when Jaedong sees that there's nothing at the overload at the top left, his natural response is going to go to the bottom right. Because if he goes across the entire map, he might not have a chance anyway. But Fantasy's not going to suspect anything here, unless Fantasy decides to go for a wall-in like he did in the last map, which he could certainly very well do. But he is not, because he has a downward ramp, he is going to try to go for a wall-in, but the downward ramp...
Looks like he's going for a factory wall-in, though.
Right. And,
oh my gosh.
I don't know, man. Jaedong's sending out another probe, so if Jaedong cannot pull this off, he's going to be so far behind on economy.
He knows he needs to find out where Fantasy is to make this work, so he's sending out one of his few drones to scout right here. Spawning pool is up. Gas is going up as well. So he's probably going to be low on Marines. He's definitely not going to have a second barracks or anything like this. And Jaedong is about to scout Fantasy while his Zerglings are going out. It would have been worse if he was in top right. So he knows where he is. Zerglings are heading that direction. Now we saw Sky High fight off Jaedong's 4-pool in the Winners League finals. So it is possible to fight this kind of thing off, but usually not when you have your base set up like that. We're going to have to see if Fantasy can micro against this or not.
Well, Jaedong needs to just move those Zerglings. He's got to ignore the SCVs and get in there before a wall goes down for one. It looks like the bunker is being constructed right now. First Marine's going to be out. Let's see if Jaedong tries to trap that Marine. I think that's what he should do. He does have the droner to help, but there's a lot of SCVs. SCVs are really hardy against Zerglings, but a lot of already 2 SCVs going down. That's what he needs to do, is take down the SCVs, building the bunker. Bunker is going to go up, so he's got to go reach for this Marine. Marine might be able to make it, but no! Surround on the Marine. Marine goes down, and now Jaedong can just keep hawking this barracks until the second Marine comes out, and nothing Fantasy can do. A lot of SCVs going down here, but SCVs are going to be able to fight pretty well. Jaedong is losing a few Marines, and this looks like this Marine is not going to make it. Yes! Oh, and this has got to be real bad for Jaedong. Fantasy has now lifted his barracks. Jaedong's going to have to start thinking about making drones at this point, I think, because I don't know if he's going to be able to get it done with just the Zerglings he has. But one thing is, Fantasy only has that 1 Marine, so if Jaedong can pull all of his drones, just keep sending a bunch of Zerglings, he might be able to take that bunker down, just surround the bunker if there's only 1 Marine. And now he's taking down the gas, so actually, never mind what I said about Jaedong building drones. I don't think that, and it looks like Fantasy might be supply blocked. Well, yeah, he doesn't have the he's supply blocked. He cannot build a Marine, so he's landed the barracks, but he can't build a Marine. So right now he only has one Marine, and certainly those Zerglings and a drone or two and these other Zerglings coming across the field can take out that bunker, certainly.
Yeah,
so Fantasy is still in quite a bit of trouble. It'll be interesting to see what he can do here, but it looks like a second Marine is building. Jaedong needs to go in now with the Zerglings he has, I feel, and just goes in, and now it's blocked with the factory.
Fantasy's playing well for what, I mean, I don't know any other way you could ward off this kind of attack. I mean, you have no idea this is coming. Marine's going to be able to get through that block and just stand there. He's actually trying to be a little aggressive. I mean, granted, that is a lot of Zerglings, but I just don't know. I mean, you know, the thing is, because certainly he has setback Fantasy with this, and he's going to try to go in and move around there. But the Marine's in.
The SCVs were not able to repair the bunker. They can't repair it. The Zerglings are in the way.
That's game.
The Marines go down. Oh, and he's not even able to finish. The SCV is killed that was building the factory. He's not even able to have a hero vulture. 3, 4, 5 SCVs left. That one Marine running around desperately trying to get behind the SCV wall.
This is revenge.
Wow.
This is revenge for the ace match in the Pro League Finals. This is revenge for Fantasy's cute little 2-factory, rush, proxy factory rush, and Jaedong is getting his revenge here. And there's nothing Fantasy can do at this point. I mean, he's gonna have to GG here, and we are gonna see a 2-1 with Jaedong leading currently here in the semifinals. Jaedong getting revenge. What is he? Is Fantasy gonna move his base?
Try and float away.
Are you serious? Are you serious? There's no way. I mean, this is what I do when I play StarCraft, or when we play like a LAN party. Like, I'm gonna spread my buildings to the corners of the map, guys. You're not gonna be able to find them.
There's just no way. I mean, Jaedong's got like 5 drones by now, and a bunch of Zerglings, so there's just no way. I don't know what Fantasy is still doing in this game, but wow, just an amazing surround by Jaedong. Even though that bunker was entirely blocked, I mean, by a factory and a supply depot, he just goes in from both sides. That was really incredible. I cannot believe that he pulled that off. I really didn't think he would. And now I think hopefully we're finally going to see GG. There's GG for Fantasy. Brilliant move by Fantasy. We were just talking earlier about which Zerg has the biggest balls. We had to say, how we remembered back in the Ever OSL 2007, I think it was, where it was July versus Best, and July with just the balls of steel takes some drones and breaks through Best wall on Troy to just go in there. If you remember that game, if you haven't seen that game, go watch that. The Ever OSL, that was an epic set. And now, I mean, gosh, Jaedong showing that he also has the amazing balls of steel again. This is the second time I'm talking about Jaedong balls, so I'm just gonna stop talking about it.
Good.
But yeah, just
me out a little bit.
That OSL was last year in 08, by the way. But
yeah.
And I wonder if, I mean, we saw actually July Zerg do the same thing to Best. Go for I think it was a 5 pool, maybe it was a 4 pool against Best, just to throw him off early and be really aggressive and really and he really got in Best's head, and that's how he won this series, was by getting in Best's head. And now coming off a win on Outsider, and now just to rub it in, going for a 4 pool on Holyworld as well. And Fantasy is going off for another powwow with his coaches there. Jaedong might be inside his head, and that's not going to bode well for Game 4.
No, not at all. I mean, Fantasy, he took his loss so hard on the OSL, and he is coming off strong, but he's starting to lose it a little bit. He's starting to go, wow, this is looking a lot like the last set he played in the OSL, where he was up by 2 and then lost. Here he's up by 1 and is now currently losing the set. Jaedong, super confident right now. We're going to have to see. I'm not sure which map the next game is on, but we're just going to go ahead and go to that right now, and we're going to see if Fantasy can pull through this.
Yeah, next game's going to be on Return of the King, so, it's not going to be Outsider, it's not going to be Cheese, so maybe in a straight-up game on a map like Return of the King, Fantasy will have a better chance.
Definitely good.
We'll see if we can tie it back up.
Good Terran map. GG will be back.